Okay, right. I'm gonna hear myself turn. Yeah. As of right now, it looks like I am doing a solo shoutcasting. So welcome
Come
to
on, Snowball.
Overwatch JV. We have the University of New Haven versus Southern New Hampshire.
Sounds like you have a cold. Let me heal you up.
Looks like the team will be running the first comp of May, Juno, Tracer, Baptiste, and
Five,
Ramatra.
one. Round one. Capture the
This
objective.
game mode, or at least this round, will be first to 2 points. So there's A, B, and C. So far, they could go either way. You could either get two right off the bat or
Hostile marked.
1 point, and then two. But it always depends. So it does look out. Bleh, that was English. So it does look like UNH is taking hold of the point and dominating this round so far by taking out their Winston, which is the other tank, and then also Moira, their healer. Looks like May with that really good wall really messed and Frozen messed up the Sombra, and then also others. It does look like having a little bit of issues with getting the Genji, but he is low. One thing that they have to account for is Sombra can come out of nowhere and screw that. Does look like UNH is holding out with the first point, making sure that they can't either cap it or get anyone close. But although this team, it, it is early in the game, so you never really know. Looks like Talon with Vermont is actually being a little bit of aggressive here, keeping the team up and on their feet. Hitting with that wall blocks a whole bunch of things, and then also, I need water.
That wasn't my best shot.
All right, sorry, I'm back. Does look like the enemy team did get the first point there and push back a little bit with for UNH, but everyone is back up and ready. Juno is on her feet, keeping her team alive, but looks like the Sombra had a different plan for them, high behind and EMP and all of them. That is almost a team wipe for UNH. The only one who did survive was the Tracer because she could blink in, blink out at rapid speed. It does look like UNH is getting a little taste of their own medicine of trying to keep the enemy team either not from their spawn, but it does look like they are pushing forward. Why am I able to hear myself? That's weird. Does look like Slasher is being on his feet a little bit, and Talon tried to help him with that Winston, but Winston was a little bit of a all over the place. Ooh. I wonder what on there. They're holding on to 4 volts, almost 5. Although if they do get ult, they could pop Ramatra's and Juno's ult at the same time, doing a whole bunch of damage with amplified damage. But the wall could also work out with a few punches, and Breeze could help make sure they don't back up. So maybe that's their plan. I'm not 100% sure what they're all going with. But as of right now, they have all ults. unless someone uses one soon. I'm not really sure. It does look like Tracer is trying. Tracer. Winston is trying to keep up and fight back the DPS and healers, but is having a little bit of trouble. But it does look like the Juno popped ult just to survive there and make sure that Winston does not kill anyone there. So they have used one ult so far as I'm aware. Does seem like this May is having a little bit of issues, but she was managed to get out of there with the help of her team and her usability of the wall. The Sombra did have another plan. She teleported behind and hacked. Now I'm wondering why he's. Oh, never mind. He used the ult.
It's not over till it's over.
Unless someone touches, it is Southern New Hampshire University's point, and that is point.
Fields destroyed.
I feel like they could have used May's wall a little bit, making sure no one either pushes forward or caps point, but not 100% sure what they were trying to do. But they did actually hold out pretty well, got it almost close to a tied game.
Safety
But
first.
now
Taking down
it's
enemies. First.
game 2 of the match. This is a pretty good map. This map came out of ooh, a few seasons ago, almost either 6 to a year ago. Wow, that is a while.
5, 4,
It does look like they are running Genji, Tracer, Junker Queen, Baptiste, and I did not see who the fourth was. But it does look like the enemy team is running Mara and Winston again. Pretty good choices. And Sombra. Alright. UNH did take out the Sombra with pretty good thinking. Oh, they're playing Juno again too. Actually, these are pretty good picks. It's just UNH got a little drawn out a little. They did make sure to kill enough of the enemy team, but with that, it also came with the cost of quite a few of them also got slaughtered in the mix because they were too spread out, or doesn't seem like they're communicating as much, which probably got them killed because they were too spread out. All right, but it does look like they did regroup. They are. It looks like they are talking a few things over, trying to figure out what they can do. But it does Talon is using the Junker to make sure the blood damage does go out, and it does look like they are able to make sure that they don't get at any point. Uh, ooh, and Sombra jumps in the lava. That's a huh. I think she timed her teleportation a little late. I will say for the Genji's sake, it is good to pick everyone, but it's, yeah, I was gonna say it's also very risky because you're by yourself, but your team's not near you. The entire team just jumped on you. That could have been a really bad uh, mistake. But it does look like he's able to hold out, but the enemy team that jump got everyone surprised. No one was prepared for them to come around and dominate like that. They were all prepared for them to come straight on, which wasn't pretty good. But overall, it looks like everyone's back on their feet, but they're being kept at spawn. They do have, I forgot what to call a wall. I know how to play this game, but I don't remember any of the abilities' names unless I played the character a lot. But it does look like UNH is down a little bit. If they do pop Baptiste wall here, they could do a whole bunch of damage and make sure no one pushes them from behind. But as of right now, they don't have that going right now. Looks like Blade did take out Juno and Baptiste. Oh, and the other Genji. So it does look like UNH is spread out a little bit, which is not going in their favor. They're always holding on to their ults a little bit. too long and not popping them at the right times, which may or may not be one of the reasons why this is going the way it's going. But it does. If someone touches it, looks promising. If she pops her ult, they could touch and make sure it stops. There it goes. The ult is out. The laser beam. Everyone gets healing and amplified damage. Anti is out, which is actually pretty good. Looks like for that anti they did use Junker Queen's. Everyone's ult was used except for Tracers. That's a lot of ults. That's a lot of ults wasted on one team fight. You could have saved one or two, had a few for the next, pop them all at once. Does go good for one team fight, but with how this match is going, I would have saved a few of them. Does look like Juno is getting dominated by Sombra and gets eliminated. Now Tracer is over here booking back and forth with the Genji just coming back from spawn. Talon is taken out a little bit, and it does look like the Southern New Hampshire University is taking their point back and going for the match point. Yep. And Southern New Hampshire University wins round 1. I'm pretty sure this goes to, oh god, I don't remember, 3? 3 out of 5? But I will say the UNH team did have a lot going for them. It just I feel like they held out a little bit with some of their ults a little bit. They held on to some where they could have used them a little bit more tactical. But overall, they did really good in some of their team fights, but got overran without grouping up a lot. They were spread out a lot. They were either spread out a lot or not prepared for people to come in certain directions, which with comp games, you always gotta be oh god, you always gotta be, ready for that. But it does look like they should've used some of their ult sooner rather than waiting for everyone to get ult, 'cause popping them all in one team fight is not always well. Popping them in between team fights, always good because then you could get your ults back and use it to your advantage. Does look like they are trying to figure out what they're doing. It looks like one of them said escort for the next one, which has a lot of really good maps. Some of them you have to point the first point and then take it all the way to the new one, or you could just drag it all the way. Okay. So yeah, I was right. It's a best of 5, 3 out of 5. So they have to win 3 rounds in order to win. It does look like my other shoutcaster is going to be a little late. Apparently, he is driving home, and I just got notice of that, which would have been helpful information sooner. But hey, until then, it's just me. He does so it's what was it? I don't know his real name, but he knows a lot about Rainbow Six Siege, and when I do Siege sometimes, he mainly takes over because I don't know much about it, which actually is really good because he is really informed on a lot of the gunplay and skills. So until he gets home, it's just me. And then when he joins, you'll get to hear how pretty cool he is. Ooh, they're on Rialto. I was not paying attention to that. Rialto is a good push map because you get to push it basically automatically unless they hold you at point. You're able to push from out of spawn to the edge of the map, which oh god, what I think it was 2 weeks ago when I hosted this. I did the solo Rialto. You did go from almost losing to extremely winning and pushing back the enemy team. So I want to see if they do the same thing here because they did pull out Sigma, Curie. Oh god, no wait, wasn't it Curie? No, it was Sigma,
If we do this right, they won't even
May.
know what happened.
Oh god, I only remember Sigma. Oh, it was Sigma, Genji, Baptiste,
We will be the lightning.
maybe May, and I think Bastion. But as of right now, for defending, they're going Kiriko, Ana, Malgua, and Bastion. I don't know what the other DPS is because I haven't seen them yet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
It does look like round one is started.
The payload.
Over there, targeting hostile.
Oh, they have an Ash. Two good characters. They got two snipers, and then Curie can actually make sure her team's fully up and charged. They got double the gun power with Bastion being with turrets and Malgua being on also fiery turrets, which is weird. It's overpowered as hell. Takes little to no skill to play him, but it also takes skill to learn when to pop his abilities or to trap everyone in a cage. He is a good pick for this kind of thing because you actually have two turrets, one that does critical damage, one that does fire damage, and that actually makes your
Eyes on a target.
enemies think hard and long before they attack. Now it does look like Yone is holding out, and Lucio looks tried to get behind, but was found. But it does look like Yone is holding out with this first push. A Sombra did come into the mix, and Winston's back. Now it does look like they are looking to either go down and around or attack from the top and make sure the Bastion is gone, which is one thing that could be tricky to do because you have both Kiriko and Bastion there. Looks like Malgo did come up to join the fight and say hello, and they did take care of that Lucio and Moira. Looks like Winston is in trouble if he doesn't get away. Nope, he dies. Hey, I would have tried to run away instead of staying there. Because that's one thing I did not know you could do as Bastion jump hard like that. Does look like they popped Kitsune, which is an interesting play for right now, but actually it helps out a lot because you're doing a whole bunch of the fire rate gets increased. Does look like Kiri got overrun a little bit, but that is okay. The team seems a little bit spread out now. Like three people in one area, but then you got Bob and Mago in the other. But they're also holding out, making sure the enemy team doesn't push any further. But it did look like they were spread out a little bit. They got overrun by being pushed from behind and from the front, which caught them off guard a lot, which honestly with this map catches you off guard a lot. But as long as the enemy team can't push any further, that would be good. If Bastion pops his ult here, and holds the point, it could contest a lot. There he goes. Oh no, why are you waiting? That only contested one person, which is fair. Actually kept him behind. That was actually a pretty good ult. Now it does look like Lucio is jumping around the back lines. Ana is going to scope up above, and the Talon with Magma looks like he's not struggling, but keeping out. It does look like this enemy team is using their same comp as last match, which is interesting, but also somewhat not really going well for them right now. Because with Malgo and Bastion both being on the UNH team now, you are looking at a deadly comp. And it does look like UNH only has to push it that far rather than all the way to the point. Which honestly, if they hold out and get all their team fights out, this push will be very easy. Now, if they stay the characters they were just as, it could go well. And where the hell did the lag come from? It looks like they're doing Malga. Yeah, Malga, Ana, Curie, and Genji again. But instead of Bastion, they are going to be running Widow, which is interesting. Although she does have a lot of good sniper points. But I think the double shots were working well.
Dangerous. Do you really want to be with me? I can.
Now I want to see how this goes. If Widow is a good pick, or if they're going to switch back to Bastion or not. Because technically, either duo or triple machinery is deadly as hell, and it really worked out good for the first match, at least the first push of this. It does look like they are pushing up above, making sure Torbit and everyone else is on their feet. They did kill Torb and then push the Ramatra and everyone else off. The Brigida's still alive. The Ramatra's alive for now. Now he's dead. Now it does look like they're holding out on the first point, and it honestly it looks very promising for UNH right now. They're making sure they are spread out above a little bit and spraying and praying from above, which actually does really well. You got more cover up there than you do down below. Now it does look like they are back toward did his turret, but also the Echo and Ash went around the back, which UNH was not prepared for. But it does look like Talon is holding out with Malga and his healing and guns, but it does look like he did get overrun. He didn't really have his healing ability, which would have been a little helpful, but it has a very long cooldown. They honestly got it really close in the first minute or so, which now they just need to push it just a few inches. Getting rid of that turret is actually pretty good right off bat. Now trying to get rid of Torb is the main key. And he is gone. Team kill, and that is match 2 to University of New Haven. Unless it goes to nope, victory. That is match 2. Now it's 1 and they did really good at holding out that entire time. Now, for the second point, what will they choose? No, the second point is third. All right. We're just getting ready for the third match. I just realized I never went over everyone's names. Well, at least gamer tags. I don't know everyone's names. We got Jolie, Good Guy Beppo, Dine, Slasher X Force. Ooh, Bushman. I do not know how to pronounce that, and I'm not even gonna try. Nope. Esperanza? I have no clue if that was right. And you have Denzin on the enemy team. You have Crime Run, Skelter, Pokemon, well, Pokemon, uh, Dewums, and Ribbit. Sounds like Ribbit. That's awesome. And they have uh, two main spectators, Win Status, and then Joe's KI. I want to say push map will run for about 10 minutes unless overtime happens and every team keeps it at bay. Match 3 is started. Let me check something real quick. Is here an H? Yeah.
Our fish might be a little big for you.
There's nothing I can't catch with determination and a little dynamite.
5, 4, 3, 2,
It looks like they are running Ash, Magua, Genji,
I'm good and ready. I'll get in the
Keep
pool.
in sight, and this will go.
Ana, And Kiriko. You know, the one who gets a skin every either event or season. Or both. It's always both. It does look like the enemy team is running Diva, which could honestly is pretty fine for right now. She eats up all of the turret bullets and damage that Malga does shoot out. Honestly, with the Diva and Sombra and oh god, what is it? Moira, this could go either way for the enemy team. South oh no, no South. Southern New Hampshire University. Now it does look like the Southern University is pushing it up a little bit and making sure to take care of both healers that were left behind. Although Talon does look like he is making sure they grab the point and the rest of his team is holding the enemy team at their spawn. With disadvantage, it actually pushes the robot. Oh, stream. Oh, stream lagged for me. Man, stream down, stream down.
I'm here.
Oh god,
Be careful.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm back. For some reason, I lost all audio and everything was loading and taking its time. Sorry about that. At one moment, I could see it. The next, I couldn't. Does look like UNH was able to push it 10 meters before it started to take a turn.
I have you. Keep fighting. Eyes on a target.
We got him where we want him.
Apagando las luces.
Your power's up. Get in there. Eat this. Don't let them push any further.
Does look like they have Blade. Honestly, I would pop Blade as soon as the Diva is out of her thing. Because Mini Diva is very, very open and is not as lethal as the mech is. Because she only has a gun and not missiles. Looks like Genji is being held up a little bit. But he does take care of that Samba really well. They are pushing back the enemy team. It does look like they switched to Tracer and Diva. Two top picks. Honestly, I will say Diva is one of my favorites. So seeing her in action is pretty good. She could hold out her own line and also at the same time give all the damage and make sure no one could, damage any of the team. And the stream's going again. You know what? I'm back. I have no clue what's happening to me. Oh, and they're Brigida. Brig is a really good choice. She does a lot of healing over time, but she is also really flexible with her damage. She also gives shield to everyone, making sure her team doesn't die. She does a really good choice at making sure the diva does not get back into the match. It does look like UNH is pulling this towards their side.
Try to catch
100 meters to 95 meters. Match one looks really promising, but we still have about 3.5 minutes left. The team does look like it's holding out,
You're powered up. Get in there.
making sure that no one dies. And ooh, and the nano code comes out. That is one deadly combo you do not want to be mixed up in. Looks like they get the diva out of her mech and executed. The enemy team is in for one hell of a ride, as it looks like this is going to be a UNH match here. But as of right now, the enemy team can turn this around since that is their spawn straight ahead, and UNH's spawn is all the way across the map, taking out both healers and then also DPS and Diva. Everyone was taken out of the match, so this is going to be one hell of a twist. It is always easy to get the point all the way over, but it's also very hard to make sure it stays there and get the win if you don't know how to fight or defend. But it also is hard when the enemy team spawn is ahead of you and yours is basically a jog all the way across the map. It does look like they have Diva Bomb. They popped Rally again, which is honestly pretty good. They do take care of the Genji and Lucio. Although Brigida does go down, she got a little bit of a side swipe. Now it looks like they did pop a lot of shield out. The enemy, ooh, really? A Diva Bomb there. It was, I mean, honestly, to me, it seems like a waste of a Diva Bomb. Also, at the same time, it's a very easier and quicker way of getting in and outside of your mech when it's a close game just like this.
60 seconds remaining.
Looks like that EMP was a little bit of a deadly push there all around. But UNH is holding their line. The Diva eating up all of the damage and Tracer jumping around, making sure nothing happens, and also keeping everyone on point by turning their heads. UNH taking control of the robot a little more. Blade could be huge here. Everyone is in very close. Never mind. Looks like Talon is holding out here. It is overtime, so you do want to make sure that enemy team gets off point soon so they don't push anything any further. Although they do have to push it about 40 meters to tie the game, but you can't really tie in this game. It's only a farther push or a everyone's gone type thing. And it looks like This is honestly, I would just sit Diva Bomb right there, make sure nothing could happen. Yep, like the enemy team did. Pop it there, get her out of the mech, or honestly, this actually looks pretty well all around for UNH even without the Diva Bomb. They saw something I didn't. Also, that was actually pretty good. They held out to the he pops it now. They held out to the end of the round and took control over that robot. University of New Haven 2, Southern nope, not Southern of. Southerner, New Hampshire, Southerner. Southern New Hampshire University 1. No, it's 2-0. 2-1. Wow, I cannot speak today. What will round 3 possibly match point for UNH look like? Or you can tie up the game and then have match 5. You do have 2 modes, Flashpoint and Clash, that have not been seen yet. Oh, wait. No, neither of them shown. Looks like they are discussing a little bit of what are they? Ooh, they are doing Flashpoint. Because I always call Clash Tug of War, if I remember this correctly. And it looks like I didn't switch up the right thing. Yeah.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
And it does look like they are basically playing kind of a tug of war, but i- it's like the first match. But instead of getting 2 points, you have to get 3. And then Clash is just like tug of war, it's going back and forth like push, but it's first to 5, which sometimes could get annoying, but it's pretty cool. Looks like they are going Genji. Oh, never mind. Looks. What are they doing? Looks like they're going Diva, Juno, Ana, Tracer, and Genji. Really good pick for this. Even for this map. It's a really good pick for this map. I played earlier with my friends on this map, and I think I played Echo. Honestly, if no one looks up, she's doing the. Looks like the enemy team: Lucio, Moira, Genji, Winston, and I don't know the other. But it does look like UNH is holding out, making sure the Winston and Moira both go out, and Lucio. And there goes Genji. Ah, they went Sombra again. It's an odd mix. We'll say this does look a little promising right now for UNH. The enemy team hasn't really switched up their comp as much, so it looks like UNH has found their weaknesses and is exploiting them, which I'm surprised the enemy team has not picked up on and switched up. But it looks like everyone's just gonna, play the same characters, which is actually pretty fun. Everyone has their best characters and the ones they always want to play. It does look like UNH is getting a little bit of overrun here with chaos all around them, with Moira and Winston being on two sides of them, and Sombra being to the other. So it looks like UNH is being kind of held at their spot a little bit, and that could change up if someone does go around. Seems to me like the team is backing off a little bit, noticing someone is at the point, and it looks like Tracer's there. The UNH is going toward making sure that they take the information the Tracer gave them to work with. Looks like this is now going more towards UNH's side. The enemy Genji is being a little bit gamed up here. The Tracer and Genji on our team is making sure that they are not making it. But Lucio came in to help, takes out the Tracer, makes sure Genji has a little bit of a way around. Sombra does come in and help that too, taking out the rest of the DPS. Now this does look like the first point goes to Southern New Hampshire. For some reason, that is not helping my English today. uh, English is my only language, and I still can't speak it. Looks like they swapped off of Diva and went Malgua. It does seem like they have Nano, so a Nano Malgua would be very deadly. Unless you Nano Blade again, which is even deadlier. That Lucio is jumping around, making sure that he can survive for his team. But it looks like Sombra was left behind a little bit and now is being hunted and slaughtered. Does look like UNH is pushing the enemy team back a little bit, making sure that they can't move a single foot onto the point. Pushing them all back, but also at the same time, it looks like Sombra and Diva are gonna try to go around, either towards the stairs or towards the opening, which could spread it up into two different areas. But it looks like they went towards the bridge stairway. Now the enemy team is using this to their advantage, but Talon is also using his skills to put his cage down and make sure no one is able to get back. Although the Diva did mech him, so that kind of, squished him, killed him. Now it does look like UNH is at a standstill until their entire team is back. The Genji and Brigitte were the only two left. Well, or they came back from spawn and had to stand there for a while. But it looks like everyone is back. The enemy team is honestly pretty on point. Ooh, you have Talon now on Winston again. dancing back and forth on behind the poles. The enemy team is getting that out a little bit too much. And I am back to lagging issues. Let's go. Ooh, Winston gets punched right off the ledge. His body went flying. They do have Nano again, which could turn the game. But it does look like this is going to be the enemy team win. And then it would tie up the match. Until or unless UNH could figure out a way to make sure that they win the next 3 points. Because they also they have Nano, they almost have Blade. I'm not sure about the rest of their team.
Enough whining. You're fine.
They do look like they are all close to building up their ults. Only a matter of time before the enemy team is able to do things. But it looks like ooh, Nan but it does look like UNH but it does look like they also have Rally. So with 3 ults on the table that could be played and then a few that are fully built up, this could be a game changer with these ults. Really good for the extra shield and expansion. Looks like UNH is having a field day right now, making sure no one is able to get the point or back inside of their team base. Talon bullying the DPS. Winston's ult is just insane. Now it does look like UNH was able to make sure they got this point, but it's only a matter of time before the enemy team comes back. So let's see if they could do some really good defense and keep this point to themselves. And then also the next two, if there would be next two. But let's hope. It's looking really favorable for another point to come up. So let's really hope that they could hold their own to 3 points. Looks like the enemy team was a little bit of a spread out there, which worked in UNH's favor. Talon peeking and making sure the damage is spread out evenly a little. Back to the McCree now, making sure that all the one-shotters are worth it. EMP does come out by the Sombra, which does get rid of everyone's basically abilities, which is mainly also healing for the enemy for the UNH. But it does look like this will be a match point for Southern New Hampshire. So now it's University given to Southern New Hampshire University 2. This will be match point. It is tied game 2-2. does seem like they are gonna do a clash for the final point. So I wanna see which clash map they do, because I mean, they're all pretty good, but I forgot what the desert one was called, but that one's actually pretty well.
Now and prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Now
One small step at a time.
If you can. Watch for their weaknesses and strike.
Hey, be careful, Juno. Your mother will be furious if I let anything happen to you.
For the moment, we have a common purpose. Let's focus on that.
now it does seem like my mic is going in and out, which
1.
hasn't really happened before. Oh wait, unless it came out with a update, which honestly wouldn't make sense. Not 100% sure if there was an update or not. I gotta check all my settings after this. It's weird. Alright. Oh, instead of a clash, it does look like they are doing a escort again. Meaning you have to make sure you get point A and then push it to the very end. Sorry, I was checking some stuff. Alright. So it looks like we're playing May, Ramatra, Genji, Juno, and Brigitte. Honestly, so far this is a pretty good fight all around. It looks like the Sombra is behind and is yep. Ooh, and they have an Echo. Good for the high ground. And then you also have Winston, and I can't tell. Oh, Lucio and Kiriko on the enemy team. This does look like everyone is going down. It does look like Southern New Hampshire is going to cap the uh, point A and then have to drag it to point B. What is up with my microphone?
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
All right. What the? I raised my mic. Oh crap. Yeah. All right. So it looks like UNH is back and back on point, making sure that they do push it any farther than they can from A. EMP does go out, making sure the enemy team has a advantage towards the rest of the team. But it does look like Ramatra is holding out. The May ult does go out, making sure everyone's frozen inside. But I'm pretty sure no one was caught inside, but did keep the enemy team from pushing.
Name's Curtin.
Does look like they have the laser beam and Ramatra ult. Both could work really well in making sure no one pushes it, but it does look like the enemy team is pushing it a bit far. So you might want to put that to a stop soon. Looks like the ult does go out, making sure the amplified damage and healing are both active. The Winston is using his ult to making sure the enemy team, not the enemy team, to make sure the Ramatra and this team doesn't push anything.
Stop the payload. Enemy in my sight.
It does look like the payload did reach the checkpoint. The Lucio is in the back, but I don't know if he made it out. It looks like he did make it out. It looks like Samba did teleport. I'm pretty sure they're going to end up behind in a few minutes. Looks like they also have, yep, and they popped Rally, which is good for the extra shields and also making sure the rest of your team is protected behind you, which keeps the other team at bay. Now, that did work in UNH's favor for that team fight, but as of right now, they are still being pushed up on and slaughtered a little. But in all favor right now, everyone is being honestly a really good team fight. Does look like the enemy team is cross. Well, that's English. It looks like the enemy team might cap here. Yeah, it looks like the enemy team is keeping everyone at bay. So this is going interesting. But it looks like UNH was able to manage that fight and make sure that enemy team could not hold back. or not hold back, uh, push anymore. Looks like they do have Nano, the either Nano Diva or one of the other DPS would help. Either Genji or McCree. You do have Lucio jumping around in the back line, and then you have Echo up in the air. Everyone is doing really well. Honestly, pushing it this far actually did really well for UNH right now, making sure that the enemy team can't do anything. We have about 60 seconds before it is game, so holding it out here will be a little tricky for UNH to get it any the point all the way over here, but if they can manage, they do win. It looks like they are pushing it back a lot. It is slowly backing up, and that's going in UNH's favor. Enemy team is not able to touch her yet. But it does look like they have high noon. Looks like the enemy team is taken over. But if yep. And he pops his ult, crushing the Echo. Now it does look like they did pop high noon, which works in a little bit of a favor, making sure people are hiding and not going out and fighting. But it does look like the Kiriko is about to die and the Winston is ulting. Both are dead and gone. But it does look like this is a good round for UNH. Only got I mean, they have to push it almost all the way, but they don't have to push it all the way to the now with the stats on the board, looks like the enemy team is buried by their DPS, where UNH altogether is staying together. Now UNH does have to make sure they cap A and push it all the way to the round to make sure they win. This part could be a little tricky.
Wherever they hide, we will dig them out.
Does look like they're going Widow, Genji, Ana, Brigida, and Diva. Now they switch to Magua. Interesting. Does look like the enemy team is running a May Reaper. Ooh. Lucio again. Ramatra, and I'm pretty sure I saw Myra, but I'm not 100% sure. I could have been wrong. But it does look like UNH is in a little bit of a critical state right now. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not Myra. It's what's his name? Baptiste. Looks like UNH does have to recoup a little bit. It does look like UNH did get a little slaughtered, but is also holding out and making sure that they are in control of the point. Having both Magua and Bastion back, haven't seen these two in a in a thing either since first game or second game. But having both back and having full turrets, gonna go really well. Looks like May popped ult. No one got caught frozen inside, which is actually pretty good. But that went really poorly for the enemy team. Really well for the UNH. Looks like they did manage to cap point A. It's time to escort it.
Payload secured. Let's move. I have you. Keep fighting.
Now, we'll say if UNH does stay on and crap, why do I keep thinking of things? Bastion. Having both turrets out will work really well for this game. It looks like they are pushing it and holding the enemy team right there really well. Making sure that the enemy team isn't able to contest or anything, and UNH is making sure they can push it as far as they can and hopefully to the win. This is a very close game. Now it does look like a little bit of chaos with the May wall and the Baptiste wall going up. Amplify damage all around.
Superior numbers.
Looks like UNH does have to take a little bit of a sit back and recuperate. Not recuperate, readjust things.
Not forgetting the payload, are we? I won't let you fall.
Nano Bastion or Nano Blade or Malgo would actually do really well for UNH here. But I want to see what they do in the amount. And Malgo is nanoed. This could work really well for UNH's side. But it looks like it kind of failed. But actually kept everyone, what's the word, on their feet. Oh, and the stream on my side is lagging again. Oh. Alright, so am I back? Nope. Alright, my stream quality is back up and running. I know I have no clue what happened there, but we are back and running. I wish the squad had the same Wi-Fi all around. Alright, looks like Ramatra does pop his ult, but gets shut down immediately by both Malga and Bastion. His health went from having some to the next second dead. No, it does look like they are making sure that the enemy team is pushed back a little bit, and so that they could push up. Now it does look like being in their back line is working out really well, burning everyone in sight. Now it does look like this game will be a close one, but so far in UNH's favor. But it could be anyone's game from here on out since the enemy spawn is right there and UNH has to travel a far way. They do have Malwa and Bastion ults, which pop those two together, you could eliminate everyone. One thing you gotta make sure is that everyone is close together.
Reaper, Reaper, watch out, watch out.
And for some reason, we were able to hear someone's mic, which we never were able to do before. That was weird. Looks like UNH is keeping everyone on their feet. Payload is really close to the end. They do have about a minute 15 to push it all the way to the end, which could honestly be really well. It's either game here, with the enemy team spawn being there, but with also UNH owning their own. You do have, I'm pretty sure Genji's in their back line a little, but the rest of the team is grouped up and ready to fight from the front side. Alright, they are moving up on the front lines, while Genji is still in the back line and making sure the damage is being taken all around. That is... if they don't do anything in the next 30 seconds, this could be game. But it looks like a really good game right now. It's anyone's game. Anyone's game. And it does look like it is going to go to southern New Hampshire unless someone can touch. Will someone be able to touch? And it looks like UNH is able to contest and fight for overtime. Now I wouldn't get a little bit too spaced out, or that could be a game. And it's looking really close. But it looks like Southern New Hampshire University. Oop, someone else touched. Nope. Gotcha. So it looks like Southern New Hampshire University has won today's match of the Overwatch JV game today. That was a really close game. UNH, University of New Hampshire at 2, Southern New Hampshire University at 3. Really good fights all around, really close game, even all the way to the end in each and every single one of these matches. This is a really good fight all around. Uh, Looks like there could be a few learning points here, but overall it was either game towards the end with the spawn being right there and everyone being close together. That was a very close game. Everyone fought their hearts out and did really well. But the stream will be ending soon. So keep on gaming, everyone, and we will be streaming again. Hold on, let me go to the Shoutcasters chat. To what's today? Friday. Tomorrow is JV Apex Legends at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and that will have Cass, Roy, and the Drinkler all doing shoutcasting and streaming tomorrow. So until tomorrow, keep on gaming, everyone, and come and support the teams.